So now let's move on to your next topic in your corporate structure and administration, which is in your third chapter, that is administration of your company. Now your next topic is liabilities of the secretary. Now what is the liabilities of the secretary? What is the secretary actually liable to do in a particular company? Okay, the liabilities of the company secretary are divided into two categories, that is statutory liabilities and contractual. One is compulsory and one is on the basis of the contract which the secretary has signed with the particular company. Now, looking at the statutory liabilities, as the principal executive officer of the company, as the secretary is the principal executive officer of the company, the secretary has certain statutory obligation under the Companies Act. Okay, under the Companies Act, Income Tax Act, and Stamp Act, Shops Act, Commercial Establishment Act, MRTP Act, under various acts which have been established by the government. The secretary has various statutory compulsory liabilities that they need to perform. The first one is basically they will be held liable if they fail to hold a statutory meeting, if they do not circulate the statutory report, if they fail to hold an annual general meeting, if the secretary fails to submit the register of the companies copies of annual accounts and other statements. Okay, if the secretary fails to give a notice of board meeting, if the secretary does not maintain the minutes of books of the registered office, if the secretary fails making ready share certificates and debenture certificates within the particular period of time which has been allotted by the company to the secretary, if the secretary fails to maintain the register of the directors, shareholders, debenture holders, if the secretary fails in filling with the register of companies relevant documents required by the act, okay, whatever documents are required during the time of registration of the company, if the secretary fails to do so. Okay, if the secretary also fails to give the name and address of the registered company which is maintained or affixed outside of every place of business, okay, the secretary should keep in mind all of these things and should not carry out any mistakes or errors. Okay, they should make sure that they are not held liable for anything. Okay, if they fail to do so, they will be held liable. Now, only as per the this was according to these were the statutory liabilities. Okay, now under the Income Tax Act they have various liabilities. Under Stamp Act they have various liabilities. Shop and Establishment, MRTP Act. Now under your Stamp Act of 1961 they have to just collect whatever the debenture whatever the income tax is from the debentures, dividends, whatever is paid to the shareholders, whatever income tax is there, they have to collect that particular tax. And also they have to make payment of income tax which is collected and payment of corporation tax. Okay, so after which you will have under the Stamp Act. Under the Stamp Act is nothing but you have to verify, the secretary has to verify various documents which are needing stamp and whether correctingness. Okay, if they have to make any necessary changes or if they have to make any necessary corrections, they have to verify all of that. Then Shop and Establishment is nothing but the company secretary is recognized as the principal officer. Okay, well, the company secretary, the secretary of the company is recognized as the principal officer of the company, and that particular person is responsible to fill various provisions under this particular act. Okay, whatever information, whatever documents are necessary under this particular act, they need to fill accordingly. Okay, under the MRTP Act is nothing but again make necessary statements verifying it. Then whatever forms are used for mergers, acquisitions, all of these have to be taken into consideration and have to be carefully monitored. Now let's look into what are the contractual liabilities as per the company secretary, based on the company secretary. What are the liabilities, contractual liabilities that the company secretary has to carry out? See, firstly he has to carry out the orders which are given by the directors. Okay, next he has the obligation of service with the company. Whatever service is being provided with the company, he has to serve it to the company. He should not disclose any confidential information to any other person apart from the company. Okay, even if the company is asking. See, now the company will enter into various contracts. Okay, there'll be secret contracts for tenders and profit making and all of that. So as a company secretary, as you are in the top position, you are not supposed to leak out any confidential and private information of the particular company. Okay, and also the company secretary will be liable if they liable to any damages if he is causing any damage to the company by his willful misconduct and negligence of duty. The company secretary should make sure that he is performing duties in a very good manner, and also he's not behaving unjustly and he's behaving properly. Okay, but if he does any mischief, okay, if he leaks out the particular information or if he carries out any illegal activities, then he will be liable. Then next is the legal position. What is the legal position? He is recognized as the principal officer. This is what you have to remember under the company secretary. Okay, he is recognized as a principal officer in the eyes of law, and the secretary is a mere servant of the company, nothing but an employee of the company. Okay, and also he is appointed by the top board of directors, and also he should be adhering to all the responsibilities which are given to him, and he cannot enter into any contract with the third parties without taking necessary authorities, and also he cannot represent the company the company on behalf of the company. Okay, he is appointed by the board, and he has the authority from the board. Okay, and also he cannot exercise any independent kind of power or position. Okay, he has to serve according to the permission which is granted by the particular company. Now, the next actual status is nothing but it is quite different from the actual practice. Basically, he has a very important role in the administration of the company and setting up of the particular company, and carrying out all the board meetings, and making sure all the documents are carefully verified and are as per the rules and regulations. Now, next one is the qualification of the company secretary. Now, there are statutory qualifications and whereas other qualification. Now, under your statutory qualification, every company, you have three different companies, that is limited company, unlimited company, government company, you have your foreign company. Now, based on that, you will have different qualifications for that. Okay, so as per the Companies Act, these are the qualification. Now, every company with a paid up share capital not less than 2 crores, okay, not less than 2 crores shall have a whole time secretary. Okay, as per the companies appointment and qualification as per the rules of 2002. Okay, they will have not less than the company should have not less than 2 crores of paid up capital. Only that particular company will have a whole time secretary. Okay, next is no person shall be appointed as a whole time secretary unless he is a member of the Institute of the Company Secretary of India. Okay, no individual, no any member can be appointed, but the member should be the secretary should be the member of the Institute of Company Secretary. Only that person will be appointed as the secretary. Next, in case of companies with a paid up share capital of less than 2 crores, okay, if the share capital is less than 2 crores, any individual possessing any of the following qualification may be appointed as the whole time secretary. Only if your paid up share capital is less than 2 crores, then any person can be appointed as the secretary from the particular company. But his duties will be as follows. Okay, membership of institute. Okay, but he has to perform necessary duties, that is membership of Institute of Company Secretary of India, ICSI. Okay, pass an intermediate examination. Okay, these are his qualification. He should be member of ICSI. Okay, he should pass an exam conducted by the Institute of the Securities. Okay, he should be a postgraduate in the Commerce Secretaryship awarded by any University of India. Okay, he should be a graduate. Then he should have a degree in law which is awarded by any university. Membership of Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India, membership of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, postgraduate degree or diploma in management science granted by the university. In case if the particular company's share capital is less than 2 crores, then the particular secretary then the particular individual who is appointed as a company secretary should possess any of the following qualifications. Okay, now other qualifications are: he should have sound general education, he should have command over language, he should have the knowledge of the industry, he should have general knowledge of the company and all the activities which are taking place, he should have knowledge of company law, he should have knowledge of mercantile law. Now, mercantile law is something related to goods and services. Okay, merchants. Okay, knowledge of accounting and taxation. So with this, we come to an end of your third chapter, that is administration of a company. Now, in your next video, I will be continuing with your fourth chapter, okay, which is known as corporate meeting. This will be continued in the next video. Thank you for watching, girls.